You're listening to Drinks and a Movie with your host, Rudy. Spoiler alert.
Cool, rolling Drinks and Movie podcast. Yo, I'm back with co-hosts Carissa and Jocelyn once again.
Hey.
And we are continuing our holiday horror. Okay, we just did Thanksgiving. Now we're talking 1980s Christmas Evil. Okay, or AKA, you better watch out.
Yes.
So to start, we're gonna try some beers this time because I know whiskey isn't quite in your wheelhouse.
Shotgun in these?
I definitely not
kidding.
for me.
No, not these.
But I do like to do the seasonal stuff. You know, we usually do like Halloween beers and, you know, a lot of times Christmas stuff comes out.
This one's super festive.
Yeah, we've got Prairie, Artisan Ale, Seasick, Crocodile. This is a sour ale with cranberries, ginger, cinnamon, and nutmeg.
That sounds fantastic.
I don't know, man. It sounds kind of wild to me.
I don't know.
But the print on the can is so cute. It's like a cute little sweater.
Yes, it's like ugly Christmas sweater, but cute.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it does
right
smell
on the
good.
nose.
Okay, so
it does.
I'm going to smell this time and not just go for it.
This smells like
Ooh.
cranberry sauce with
it
nutmeg.
smells
It
like-
smells like a cookie.
You know what it smells like is this wassail that it's like actually an old time drink that they would apparently, that's what the whole like Christmas caroling wassailing was. They would pass out this kind of like wine juice drink that smells just like this with pretty much all these ingredients, like a citrus, a cranberry. I don't know about the ginger necessarily, but this kind of thing. Anyway, they sell it at Trader Joe's, like this wassail pre-mixed juice, and it's so delicious.
Oh,
if you
so
want
is that like a mulled wine kind of thing?
It's basically like that, but at the Trader Joe's version, it's like non-alcoholic. It's just a juice with all those holiday seasonings, which is like, again, it's like citrus, nutmeg, cinnamon, all the, you know, and it tastes like cranberry juice, orange juice, I think one other kind of juice, and it's really good. That's exactly what it smells like, actually.
Yeah, it's like a snickerdoodle, but with like
Ooh.
cranberry raisins in it, like dried cranberries in it instead of raisins, and someone spilled like a Modelo on it.
Right?
Wow.
All right,
It does smell, that is such a good
let's
description.
try this.
Yeah, it has a
Cheers.
little bit sour, like a little spoiled, but not in a bad way.
All right.
Cheers.
The crazy thing is it's so heavy on the nose, but I'm not getting a lot of the flavors.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's very true.
All I get is the sour.
Sour.
Now on the finish or the back end, I taste some of the sweetness,
I
like
get some
that
ginger.
snickerdoodle kind of
Yeah.
thing for
Oh,
me.
okay. Yeah,
For
I
me,
do
it's
get
more
some
like
of the
cookie.
cinnamon.
Yeah.
It's very subtle. My olfactory senses aren't great, so smell.
Wow.
and
Yeah,
taste.
Heavy on the nose.
front. Yeah, up
Yeah.
front, it's just like all sour though.
Yes,
So-
on the taste, but on the nose, I actually do get quite a lot of
The nose is
dimension.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's easy. It's an easy
Maybe
sour.
I shouldn't
Yeah.
hold my breath when I drink it.
Like I'd have a candle
Okay.
of this aroma.
If you the little smacky, sorry.
Right.
If you like inhale through your nose as you drink it, you do get a little bit more of that cranberry and dimension, I think.
Yeah.
But yes, a candle of this. Yeah.
All right.
It's fun.
Christmas Evil, baby.
Yeah, let's do it.
I told you he'd be happy that we remembered him.
This Christmas, Santa's going to make everyone happy. The grown-ups. And the kids. Christmas Evil. The non-believers.
Watch out!
And the screamers. And this Christmas, you better believe in Santa, or he'll slay you.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas Evil, the night he dropped in.
Thank you all for watching this. I'll drop the synopsis real quick because I feel like this one's probably a little more of a deep cut. So in case you haven't seen it, here's the plot. A toy factory worker, mentally scarred as a child upon learning Santa Claus is not real, suffers a nervous breakdown after being belittled at work and embarks on a Yuletide killing spree. Yeah. So I saw this for the first time maybe 4 or 5 years ago at New Beverly, of course, where I see a bunch of movies for the first time. It was on the double feature with Black Christmas. And I was stoked because usually it's Black Christmas and then Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah.
But one year they had this one instead. I was like, all right, here we go. A new one I hadn't seen. And I was surprised because for anyone who hasn't seen this, it is. I'll throw it in the horror category, but it's not like a slasher film. Like I think y'all probably thought, right? I mean,
100%.
It is way more of like a character study.
100% what I said to Ian. Yep.
Yeah,
we were watching.
it's like if Taxi Driver was like Christmas time, but not quite as cool.
It literally,
it would be this.
There's a moment in it we'll get to, I'm sure, where I was like saying to Ian, I'm like, why does it kind of remind me of Christmas Joker or something? And he's like, probably because the source materials, like they both referenced Taxi Driver is what he got. And I was like, oh yeah, because I've only seen bits of Taxi Driver. I need to see it all.
Oh man, it's a great movie.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what are your first impressions? I guess let's start here. Like, what was your take on it?
So the beginning, I was like, oh man, I immediately thought this was going to be a crazy slasher movie just because the way I'm like, oh, okay, he's going to be like some weird sadistic killer because he's seeing this. And then I'm watching it and I'm like, okay.
Not quite.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, nope, none of that is happening. And there's so many moments in this where, like there is good, but then I'm just like, wow, it was kind of devastating. And like, it just seems like you're in the day of a normal life guy who's just having a mental breakdown, and it's really, really sad.
It is pretty sad.
It's so sad.
Yeah, likewise. He's actually, like, the actor does a really good job because he makes him as sympathetic as you can, given that, like you said, he goes on like a murder spree. But I low-key, because of like, I mean, I think it's really cool that it was like this trauma. It's weird that they say that he found out Santa's not real, but it was like a weird flashback of him finding his mom kissing Santa Claus, or very literally Santa Claus kissing her,
like the song.
Yeah, only a little bit like X-rated. Yeah. And so I low-key was like, oh my god, as we go to present day, is it Sam? I'm trying to remember the character's name, but Harry. I was like, oh shit, did he have like a weird Christmas fetish?
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking. Thought. So that was my thing. I was like, oh God, this guy can't get his rocks off unless it's Santa or Christmas related. So I thought it was like an interesting introduction because I'm like, this is perfect like serial killer profiling, because you have the weird relationship with the mother that he can't be with a woman. Like, and that's part of probably where his neurosis and like everything comes from. And yeah, again, I'm going to look at it a little bit with the psychology background, but yeah, it's a really great setup, I think. So that's why, again, the character study is such an apt description. Yeah, I definitely thought it was going to be a little more slashery, but in watching it, I was like, again, it's like, normally with horror, you don't see so much of like the killer's, origin story. You would just see like when we'll get to Black Christmas, but it almost is like you would just see that the result of like some mysterious lunatics going around. So it was kind of an interesting take.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it when I first saw it. I was also thinking it was going to be more slashery. And then we got to appreciate, first off, Jeffrey DeMunn is in this movie, who I love. He's in a bunch of Frank Darabont films. He's in the 1980s Blob. And we've got the movie going on, and this fool's like shredded. Doing
bro,
push-ups.
he looks so weird young to me.
Yeah, he's one of those actors that you just say like, oh, he was always an old man. So I was pleasantly surprised when I first saw this. I was like, yo, that's Dale from Walking Dead.
Yeah.
That's, homeboy from The Mist.
That is him.
And then also Hector Salamanca from Breaking Bad. This was like, he's at the Christmas party when this dude goes to the Christmas party. He's one of those guys. Mark Margulies. He's in all the like Darren Aronofsky movies. R.I.P. But anyway, yeah, I did like this movie. I also thought it was going to be more slashery, and it wasn't. But yeah, I remember the beginning, it's like, oh, okay. He's seeing his mom make out with Santa Claus, and he's like pulling down her garter.
Yeah.
And all. So now he's like disturbed. And then it cuts to like the present day.
Which I believe it's his dad dressed as Santa.
Yeah, it was his father.
Yes, but cuts to present day.
Yeah, it cuts to present day. And it's like not Christmas time yet, but he's like in Christmas pajamas and is playing in his whole house. So he's like in Christmas all year round.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's just like weird right out the gate.
He has his routine,
like,
now that I think of it, is very like American Psycho. We see him do his little like kind of weird stretch calisthenic thing right when he jumps out of bed, and he's just very chipper. He's almost like Elf. I'm trying to think of like his name's just Elf.
Buddy.
He's almost like that, but he's like a this deranged guy, but he's really pure about it to start, right? I mean, it is weird though. And he has his dolls that he like bows to and like dances around the apartment. And I was like, watch, Ian, this is like his everyday, which low-key it was.
Bro, he's just having a good Tuesday. What are you talking about?
Oh,
Dancing
yeah,
with his
exactly.
And then he's like,
with all the Christmas decor.
well, and then he's watching the neighborhood kids with the
Yes.
binoculars, and he
"You're
has his
naughty."
own like naughty nice book.
Yes.
And what was that kid's name? Moss.
Oh, he kept
kid
saying
named
Moss Garcia.
Moss
Garcia. That was such a funny, like, the way he would say it. Moss Garcia.
Because
Sally.
he's like looking at a Playboy.
Yes. cutting
Unpure
out little
thoughts.
things.
And,
Unpure thoughts.
and questionable hygiene or something like
Yeah,
that.
that was it.
Unpure. Yeah. Oh my God,
shit.
that was so good. I and then, but at first I was like, I really hope this isn't going to go down like a whole other thing with if it is like the sexual like frustration / fetishy thing. I hope it doesn't go, but luckily it didn't.
Almost kind of surprising because this could have easily been one of those like sleazy type movies, like more exploitation-esque. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, even when he does, like, it's funny because him having his breakdown is more this, I'm going to put on a Santa Claus suit and I'm going to, like, give presents or give toys to the underprivileged hospital kids because no one else is doing it. So he's out, like, trying to do
good stuff,
you know? But then it's like that guy that made him pick up his shift because he was going on vacation.
And then when he's on
And
at
then
the
he's at
bar,
the
he's like,
bar,
oh, that putz
talking shit, yeah.
Picked up my shift. And
Yeah, so this man works at a toy factory, basically.
he got a promotion.
And he doesn't like the promotions. I'd rather be on the line making the toys. Doing
Like
the
an
thing.
elf.
Now, exactly. Now I'm out here just pushing pencils, you know?
Yes.
Man.
So that really pushed him over, kind of this like, I don't know. It was definitely like a hierarchy dominance move. And it was to prove that, you got promoted, but man, you are like, you're weak is basically, or I don't know how to, it was just really, he doesn't get respect in the end.
It seems like it happens pretty quick, too, that he decides he's going to go haywire. It is a pretty shocking moment when they get, because they're just making fun of him in front of that church. It's like the three guys and that chick. And he just stabs him in the eye with like a toy.
Oh my gosh.
Because I think that's the first kill,
That's the
right?
first like big
And it
one.
just comes
like
out
3
of
in 1.
nowhere. Yeah. And then he like hatchets the other guy.
Yes.
And I like too that, I feel like this kind of almost fits in the genre or does fit in the genre of, I had a friend that would call this like white man going crazy movies. And
It
this
does.
of which
That makes
there are those.
It's like a
And this
different,
is-
instead of like Psycho Biddy, it's like I don't know what to call it for a man.
That's true though. I mean, that's a great.
just kind of losing it. I do like. I do like after he kills those guys and he's just kind of roaming around and whatever, and those office party people
they're
see
like,
him.
yes.
And again,
All the different
they pull him in.
reactions.
And because he thinks he's gonna have to he's gonna have to murder some people right now. He's kind of like unsure what's happening. But they're all stoked and happy and just
The girl
drinking.
brings him the drink.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
everybody's
yes.
like, wow.
And all the
Santa.
kids
He's like he's
all
like the star of the show.
Yeah.
Because he is Santa. It's just, again, you really see how different circles of people respond so differently to him.
But
Yeah.
then you see the ending though when he's
you're like,
like,
oh.
kids, you better be good.
Yeah, and,
And everybody's
all
like,
the
oh,
adults
shit.
are like, oh, that's weird.
Yes.
He's like, if you're not good, I'm gonna bring you something really bad. He's like painting his van, like his
yes.
doll heads in the background. Good God.
Yeah, he hand makes his own toys outside of the factory. Well, and then he steals some toys too, I think.
Yeah, to take to the hospital because they weren't
Because
willing
they weren't
to do
going to.
They
were gonna
lied.
have-
They totally,
And they make it a point too to be like, hey, you have some identification or something. And they're like, oh man, you got all these toys. We'll just take them. It's all good.
Yeah. It's fine. But I enjoyed this movie, but it just wasn't anything I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Like
Likewise.
at all. And even when he started killing, he still did a bunch of nice stuff in between. It was like, he killed those people, but then he went into this office park. But then he's going to bring toys to the good kids, but then he's going to go kill it. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
just like, bro, I'm like,
What's funny too is like from I guess this would be the writing perspective, is they do so much of the exposition for Harry, our main guy, through his brother, Philip, again, played by
yeah.
Jeffrey DeMunn. young Jeffrey, and how they explain so much of it by him talking to his wife about what a fuck up his brother is.
Yeah.
And how, you know,
She's like, be nice.
Yeah, just all these problems. Because we see it, we see what he's doing, but I feel like they do a lot of work to provide some more back
context
to it
and everything
with him. And it's you know, genuinely kind of sad when he eventually gets to a point. This is his brother character, Jeffrey DeMunn, when he's talking to his wife about, you know, he just lost it ever since I said that one thing. And, you know, I wanted an older brother to look up to, but I had to take care of him.
That part was
and
so sad.
He was, you know, just not fucking anything. He's just like a broken shell of a person. And I thought, man, I forgot that when they get into their fight at his house, when he comes and he's like, I knew it was you that killed those people or whatever. And I thought, I was like, oh shit, he killed them. Like, killed them. And then that doesn't happen. He ends up popping up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of, yeah, it was a bummer. It was a bummer moment.
It was. But I love like parts like this, like when he's in the neighborhood and all the neighborhood kids say hi to him and he's like, It's like, Sally. And she curtsies for him. And she's like, oh, hey. I thought that was so cute.
It was so cute.
Because it shows like, and I like that they did that because it shows, all right, he's not like a creep. It's not going to be like some weird sexual thing. It's not going to be creepy like that, thank God.
I think that was smart that they actually put that in there where he's like going to write about Mas Garcia, but he tells her, he has a picture of her, which is a little weird. But then he puts it down and says, honey, you don't need to see this. Or
yeah,
whatever.
like, okay.
And there is this part here, though, where he is watching Mas Garcia through the window.
And this next part.
Angrily.
Yeah.
So
this part's so weird.
But so he like puts mud on his face,
he's
right?
spying on Mas Garcia through the window.
And he puts like the prints on the wall. So he's marking.
He's like,
are any of you into like Christmas origin shit?
I do.
So is
like
this
that.
in reference to
Black Pete or what's it? Like a German,
like a Krampus kind of
Sinterklaas or whatever.
Sinterklaas.
There was a thing where I don't know if you guys watched the show Atlanta, but where they talk about that when they're in Europe and they talk, and because there's people that are in like blackface, but it's like Santa's helper. But they make like the whole joke of it, and they're like Santa had a slave or whatever. But
that's
you gotta watch that
in
show.
German. In German lore, I think it's German.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
There's
Sinterklaas.
But isn't he also Black Peter or something?
Sinterklaas lives in Spain. He rides a white horse.
If you go to the wiki, maybe it'll say like his name's like Black.
I'm guessing that's a reference to that. It's got to be, right?
I think you might be right.
Like I'm sure that's rooted in some like deep cut Christmas lore.
I feel like you're probably correct on that. I still like for most of watching this part, the aftermath with him still spying on Mas Garcia with his mom right here.
Yeah, and his mom slaps him across the.
I love this. Bring back discipline.
Oh my goodness!
Just kidding, guys.
Like, Mom, I told you so. It was in the bush and just hits him.
She doesn't even like really like. She
now we're gonna be late.
Yeah. But I was wondering if that was like Henry, right? Harry. Oh gosh. Harry's way of like marking the house for like, you're marked. I'm coming back to like.
That's what I think.
But it's like a duo thing. It's like both.
This doesn't really say anything on there. They're just going through like the history.
Well, if you want to know, go watch season 3 of Atlanta. It's a great show.
Yes.
I forgot to like look into it before this. But yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I think it might be. I'm gonna look up Black Peter because I'm pretty sure in Germany it's the same thing. Known in English, Black Pete. Okay, Schwart Pete. Pete.
Oh, and I thought at this point I was like, oh, he's gonna get him for sure.
Yeah, Black Pete, companion of Saint Nicholas. Folklore. Okay, yep. Yeah, so I think they're the same. Portrays him as a black Moor, yeah. So it's usually blackface, which is, not so couth these days. Sooty Pete is another name for him. Sooty Pete. Here, let me see what the origin is exactly, but I believe, Schwart, would be known in English. So look up Schwart Pete or Black Pete, because that is also referring to what you were speaking on.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a really fun. I never even thought about that. I thought he was just trying to be creepy.
Yeah.
But look at that. He had a whole.
So maybe he was
deeper.
becoming Schwat Pete or
Like
Cinder Claus.
I'm guessing, yeah, maybe that's the person that's in charge of bringing the coal to the bad kids or whatever. I
Yeah,
don't
dishing the punishment. Well, you know what it is in Germany you have Krampus, but I guess in is it the Netherlands? It might be Netherlands where we have. And so I think he's the
And he
dish is
was
the
also
punishment.
looking at the pictures of Santa putting the boys in the bag.
Yeah,
The bad ones in the bag.
Very Krampus again, but yes, it's like Saint Nicholas. He was like, it was after Mas Garcia said that what he wanted all the children were saying what they wanted, and everyone was saying, like wholesome, normal kid things, and he's like, I want a year subscription to Penthouse, and then he just says Mas Garcia.
I was gonna say, I had to write down this quote because I thought it was very funny. Is after there's a news report about how he killed those people in front of the church, in front of a bunch of other people too, just out in the open. And the detectives are like walking through, and someone is talking to a couple, and they say, "How do you and the Missus like your first religious New York experience?" Just like in the crowd. I just thought that was hilarious.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was really funny.
There's even a point where he tries to go down a chimney, and it's like a prolonged scene where he can't fit.
Oh, yeah.
And he has to like try and get himself out, and it goes on just a little. Creepy Dolls just goes on just a little too long.
Yeah, he has like a straight up toy factory with the marionettes that I can't. As a kid, this would have freaked me out. It still does a little bit.
It still does.
Yeah,
But man,
dolls are just.
Okay, so Black Pete is Dutch. Okay, so I was conflating it, but it is Dutch. Black Pete.
I don't know that I have too much more to say, honestly. The ending, I forgot that it ends the way it ends.
Oh yeah, that was great.
What are
Well, it
what are
depends on
your
which part.
interpretations? So we think he gets strangled to death by his brother. And his brother's like, fuck, he's like dragging the body out, puts him in the van, but he wakes up,
Oh yes,
punches his brother in the face, drives the van off. Now the cops are coming or something, and he goes over a bridge. And the van lights up and he starts to fly through the sky.
That was fantastic. We loved that.
I was like,
He really was Santa Claus.
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy.
Like he's so unhinged that in his dying moments, he was like, I'm going straight to the North Pole.
We loved that. A book.
Oh, is he dreaming? His eyes are still closed. Wow.
He's dreaming.
Baby. He's going to the North Pole too.
I know.
Oh my God.
Oh no. He's demon dog. His eyes are like
my God.
pupils are rolled up his head.
That's
Oh
so
my
scary.
Yeah, so just so that you all know, listeners, we have a really nice, he's a pit bull, right?
Yeah,
Like a
pit bull,
with
110
us.
pounds.
110-pound pit bull here. He's sleeping. You're hearing noises because he's having crazy dreams or something.
The whites of his eyes are showing.
His eyelids suddenly opened up, but it was just all white.
All
yeah,
white
and
and
they're
pink.
like flickering. So
Oh my God.
he's on one right now.
That's
I
yeah.
hope it's
Sorry
good.
for the terrifying. Yeah, that was scary. He's gonna be in the next. Oh God.
That is
Yeah,
talent.
He's a sleepyhead.
He is. Yeah, that ending, man. Oh my gosh. That just like tied this entire movie together. And it just made it so hard. Like this kind of movie, it just really, you put yourself in the situations of these people. And I'm happy that he had a happy ending.
Yes.
I'm glad that it ended so well for him. But man, that was just like, oh. And then I feel for the brother too. I'm like, oh my gosh. This was definitely in the title, Christmas Evil. I was like, what? This is like the saddest Christmas I've ever had.
He's not even evil.
He's not.
I don't know the details on like when, why, or how the title changed, but I don't know if it was Christmas Evil first or You Better Watch Out first. I'm guessing You Better Watch Out.
It was You Better Watch Out first. And it was something else before that.
Oh,
Hold on.
really?
Yeah.
Because You Better Watch Out is like, I don't know, it's kind of long title, I guess, but
It works.
I think it works
I feel like
better.
they even like almost kind of reference, not quite that line, but it is, it makes a little more sense.
yeah.
And it's saying before that, it was also known as Terror in Toyland.
Terror in Toyland.
Which would make sense if the dolls in this movie came alive. Then
Yes.
I'd be like, hell yeah. But no, You Better Watch Out feels
Yeah, because
More
he's I wouldn't say he's like evil, you know, he's just having a really bad time.
Psychotic break, man.
Yeah, and some people were doing some things they shouldn't have done. So you better watch out. Like, you better be careful. Also, when he finds out that they like screwed him around with taking the shift and they're not even delivering the toys to the hospital kids, he goes home and he's so angry and he's like holding on to a doll and he's like squeezing it while humming "Better Watch Out."
He hums it. It's like his through line song. That little.
Yeah.
It's so disconcerting.
And it's
but
like,
yes,
who's the
or
real
Santa Claus is
villain
coming
here?
to town.
That's
He does both.
that's a good moment too, though, is when he's sitting there and he just like in his seat and he's holding it up, because it holds in that shot for a while and he just like
Yeah, it does.
starts getting all, you know, tense and breaks it, and it's a good character moment.
It really is. I mean, yeah, they do that a couple of times with him where he has these private moments and he just, you know, the actor really drives it home. And yeah, it's funny because sometimes he's humming that and sometimes he's humming Santa Claus is Coming to Town, but it just like he does it in such an unhinged way, menacing way that it is really fun to watch.
Yeah.
But I do love that, you know, they had him painting the side of his van, you know, because he's already like in his own mind, St. Nicholas or like Father Christmas in his own sense. And he hand stitches this Santa Claus costume with the very telltale fur trim, because that's one of the ways they were able to identify him as the culprit Santa Claus.
I love the police lineup. They're like, what?
Clearly wrong Santas. But, you know, he goes all out with like his Santa shtick, which I can identify with, you know, going all out with my spooky stuff. And he even paints the side of his van with that sleigh, and the way they brought it back with, like we said, it goes off into the night sky. Yeah. They really rounded it out. It was like not just for the sake of him having, I don't know, a mobile that was just literally a van with the Santa sleigh on it. It actually had a purpose at the end, and I love that they actually did that.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's a hell of a way to end it.
Yes. We laughed so hard.
I was shooketh.
We were like, yeah, this is it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that's all I have for this one. I just needed, I don't know a single other person that knows this movie, so I just needed some other people to see it with me.
Yeah. I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have ever crossed paths with this movie.
No,
Yeah.
likewise.
But then
It's
it
pretty
also,
obscure.
it doesn't have the artwork that would have drawn me into the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
But man, I'm glad I watched it. It was touching and kind of sad, and you know, you really root for the killer in this one. You really do.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yeah.
because he's got a good heart.
Just want him to be all right.
Yeah.
You just want to be okay.
And he is kind of like a Robin Hood, like kind of like Joker is, where he's like trying to actually give, unlike the toy company he works for that is just saying like, oh yeah, we're donating. And he's like, well, how many units, how many toys? And they're like, we're donating. It doesn't.
Yeah.
You guys cover
Don't
the
worry about
rest.
it.
And yeah, they totally, you could tell they probably gave maybe one toy, if that, or none, or just did some sort of like, oh, we paid for like a meal or something. Who knows? And he's like, wow, that's so wrong.
And you know what? Moss Garcia was looking at porn. So
He really was.
It also, one of the notes was that he throws rocks at dogs too. That was
That was another. Yeah, I loved. I told Ian, let's pause
you know
it.
what? Everybody had what they got coming.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What one moment I was gonna bring up before I wrap it is also, there is a pretty good scene when like people know to look for the Santa Claus, and when he sees the kids and gives them the presents,
That was-
and the parents are like, oh shit, and one of them pulls out the switchblade,
But
and
the kids are protecting him.
They,
that
like,
was so
surround him.
good. But the
And the
parents
little
are like,
girl
"What are you doing?"
The little
No.
girl picks up the knife.
That was
Like, that was a
fantastic.
pretty tense moment.
It was.
'Cause it could go many different ways.
Oh, that was such a fun, like little, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, listeners, if you're looking for something to watch this holiday season that's a little obscure, again, a little bit of a deep cut, you know, the Joker or Taxi Driver of Christmas time
Yes.
falling down, you know, Christmas Evil is the movie to watch. It's worth checking out. It's a good, just 90 minutes, nothing too crazy. But yeah, if you want a little grimness for your Christmas, then there's that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a wrap.
You better watch out.
Woo.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Thank you for listening to the Drinks in a Movie podcast. You can now find us on Instagram at Drinks in a Movie Pod, where we'll be posting photos from all the various films that we discuss. You can also email us at drinksinamoviepod@gmail.com. Please rate, review, and subscribe, and thank you for listening.